This video is brought to you by my two books, Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist and The Blues Guitar Bible. Want to learn about modes, harmony, scales, chord substitution and keys? Or maybe you're interested in supercharging your blues guitar rhythm and lead chops. Whatever you're interested in, I guarantee you will be hitting the fast lane to progress with either of these works. Both feature video demonstrations and tutorials, loads of tabs and jam tracks to play along with, and I promise you, everything is explained in crystal clear plain English. Check out the links in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. I'm going to start today with a little bit of a confession. Guitar was not my first choice of instrument. When I decided I wanted to be a participant in the musical world rather than just an observer or a consumer of music. I grew up in the 1970s, and I don't know, was there some law passed back then which stated that every big hit record had to have a saxophone solo on it? It seems like, you know, a lot of the big memorable songs from that period that were very influential on me as I was growing up all had big sax solos on them, and it was just a sound that I was drawn to. Eventually I saw sense and took up guitar instead, but I do love a good sax break on a song. I've actually done a few guitar solo analysis or translations of sax solos onto guitar on this channel, and there might be one or two more that I need to do, because as I've been compiling this list of my favourite rock sax solos, I thought, yes, I need to have a go at that one. Oh, maybe I should take a look at that one. We'll see. I'll see how I get on. But yes, that's what we're talking about today. My 5 favourite rock sax solos, starting with
Romeo and Juliet by Chris White.
Romeo and Juliet, Chris White. What's going on here then? Who is Chris White and which Romeo and Juliet? Is it the Dire Straits song? Well, yes, indeed it is. But you probably think that doesn't have a sax solo. Well, the live version does, or a specific live version, which I'll link to all of these down below, so you can get a handle on them. In 1988, Dire Straits briefly reunited, because I think they'd sort of, maybe not officially, but certainly they'd gone their separate ways after the Brothers in Arms tour in '85. But they reunited for some charity gig or other at London's Wembley Stadium, and Eric Clapton played rhythm guitar for them, funnily enough, on that gig. And yeah, they did this version of Romeo and Juliet, which has a sax solo by this wonderful musician here, Chris White, and it's just one of the most spine-tinglingly, goosebump-inducing pieces of sax playing that you'll ever hear. I did a solo analysis of this. This is one of the sax solos I did put under the microscope for my Patreon subscribers a little while ago. Gosh, got to be a year or more. And it's just an absolutely fantastic piece of music. If you've never heard it, then if there's one of these solos that you go and check out, then I urge you to check this one out. It's utterly fantastic. And if I'm compiling a list of great rock sax solos, this one had to be not just on the list, but at the very top. So there you go. Next.
Never Tear Us Apart by Kirk Pengilly.
Yes, Kirk Pengilly from In Excess. My watering hole when I was a young man, in my early 20s, was called the Ambleside Inn, which was in a town called Ambleside in the English Lake District, and it was sort of the cellar bar of one of the big hotels in that town. It had a great jukebox. You know, I remember other songs I remember being on that jukebox were All Fired Up by Pat Benatar, this one, Never Tear Us Apart by In Excess, and House of the Rising Sun, that was always a favourite. Walk on the Wild Side, you know, Baby Please Don't Go by Them. You know, just, you know, it used to cost me almost as much in jukebox money as it did in beer money when I used to go for a night out there. And this song in itself has a lot of very fond memories for me of my student days, and it's only a short solo, but it's just so perfectly tailored to the song. This is for me the epitome of playing to the song. Beautiful tone that he gets on it, and it's one of those instrumental sections from a song. It could be a sax solo, as it is in this case, but a guitar solo, anything. Where you go away, kind of still humming the melody of the instrumental part. It's one of those. As I say, I like it. Lots of happy memories for me, and it's a beautifully emotive, if short, solo. So yeah, I'm going to include that one on the list. Next,
Will You? By Wesley McGugan.
The first sax solo that I did an analysis of on this channel, it was a suggestion from a chap called Ian Clark, who's a long-time viewer of this channel. He said, you fancy doing this? And I remember the Hazel O'Connor song, Will You, from, the movie Breaking Glass. It was a big hit in, was it 1980 or thereabouts? And, just one of these long kind of fade out sax solos that you get. Well, a song doesn't actually fade out, but where the entire end section of the song is the solo kind of thing. A bit like the Freebird solo, but on sax. It's one of those. And again, just lyrical, emotive, beautiful tone. Nice chord changes that he's playing over and kind of ducking and weaving in and out of the chord tones and everything. It's just a lovely solo, very musical. Again, another one of these that an hour after you've listened to it, you're still humming it. Just great playing, and everything that I like in a rock sax solo. And yes, so. Thanks to Ian for suggesting that one and reminding me of it when he got in touch to suggest I do a guitar translation of that. I'd forgotten how good it was, and now I've remembered. That's why it's on the list. Next,
Rat Trap by Alan Holmes.
Rat Trap by the Boomtown Rats. This is another one that I've done an analysis of on guitar. This was for many years, decades in fact, wrongly credited to a sax player called Albie Donnelly, who did actually play on the track, but his parts weren't kept. Apparently, it didn't have the sufficient growl to it that I think it was Mutt Lang who produced Rat Trap for the Boomtown Rats. It didn't have the sufficient growl, so they called in Alan Holmes. Alan, the man himself, actually cleared this confusion up on a message board. I think it was on a Reddit somewhere about, yes, it's my sax that you can hear on the final version of the song. Yeah, I still remember seeing Bob Geldof with a sax mouthpiece kind of gaffer taped to a candlestick when they were miming it on Top of the Pops. And I genuinely thought that was real at the time. I think how old was I? Maybe 11 or 12 or something. I thought, wow, I didn't know you could make music on one of those. Yes, obviously. Obviously it was a mimed performance. But, just a fantastic kind of raucous, attitude-filled sax part throughout the whole song. Rat Trap by the Boomtown Rats is, I think, the punk or new wave equivalent of something like Jungle Land by Bruce Springsteen. It's one of these epic story songs. And yeah, I haven't listened to it in a while, actually. I should go back and check it out. That's, Tonic for the Troops, I remember having that album on cassette. Back in the days when you used to buy albums on cassette. So I should go and check it out again. But yes, Alan Holmes, the unsung hero of Rat Trap by the Boomtown Rats. Fantastic player, fantastic solo, had to be on the list. Next.
Baker Street by Raphael Ravenscroft.
Yes, I know it's a cliche. Baker Street sax solo amongst sax players in that kind of in those circles. It is a little bit like the Stairway to Heaven intro in guitar circles. It's just one of those things that you never play because it's bad form to do it. You know, it's been overdone. A mate of mine about 25 years ago had a go at learning to play sax. I don't think he pursued it. But he went to this sax teacher who said, if you come here to learn, the first words out of his mouth, I think, were, if you've come here to learn to play Baker Street, then you can bugger off now. You know, it's just, but I like it. There was some controversy about this. There was a court case, I believe, where Raphael Ravenscroft sued either Jerry Rafferty's estate or Jerry Rafferty when he was alive. I can't remember what the exact details, saying that, you know, he'd come up with that part and, you know, he didn't get any royalties from it, just got a flat session fee. And then an early demo of the song played by just Jerry Rafferty on guitar surfaced, and it had that melody on it, so I kind of blew that pretty much straight out the water, really. Despite all the rancour and the conflict over the authorship of this part, I think it's just a fantastic thing. I remember the first time I heard it in, what was it, 1977, 78, and, you know, one of those pieces of music that just absolutely roots you to the spot. And it still does. It's an absolutely, it's just probably the most well-known sax break in rock history, I would say. You know, possibly Careless Whisper by George Michael, but we're not going to talk about that. You know, it's just a great part, and I love it, and that's why it's on the list. And there you go, folks. Those are my 5 favourite rock sax solos or sax parts. I'm sure you have a list of your own. Let me know what those are down in the comments. Always interested to see where we intersect on these things. You know, if there are any surprises that you might have for me, if there's anything that you think I've missed, or any of the choices I've made which you think are absolutely barking mad, then you know what to do. Leave a comment down below. But that is it for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video and found it entertaining in some small way, and if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget, as always, the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. We talk about guitars and music and drink beer. That's basically it. It's a great way to kick off the weekend, I think, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.